Hey, what's up, you guys? It's John Moyer from Disturbed, and you're listening to my main man, Conklin, on KCLB.
Hey, John, how you doing, dude?
What's going on, man? Doing well, my friend.
Not much. We're excited for the date, July 9th. Mayhem kicking off at San Manuel Amphitheater in San Bernardino.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. I love starting tours out there. It's going to be very cool.
Now, you guys are going to be coming off some European festival dates. How do the European festivals compare to the U.S.? Better, worse? What's the big difference there?
I think one of the biggest differences is the lineups for a lot of European festivals are a little more eclectic. You're going to have, not just rock and metal put together, but then they'll have, some kind of ska gypsy band that they'll throw in there, or a pop band, or a stoner rock band, or a, German dance band. So that's the big thing I think that happens over there is that the festivals tend to have a lot more cross-genre happening.
Audiences in the States are a little better looking, though, right? Just a little bit.
I'll tell you this, they definitely smell better. But you know what? The European crowds, I got to hand it to them. They get into it. They get crazy. That's my challenge to the American crowds. Can you get crazier than the European crowds? We're going to be coming out of Europe, playing, some of the biggest festivals that they have out there, bringing it in to you guys in San Bernardino. I want to see that California crowd go crazy. Because you know how it is. A lot of music happens in California, so, the fans, they're known to be a little bit jaded. And that's not the time for this. Mayhem is the time to get crazy. You're going to have great bands all day long. I want to see that Mayhem crowd go nuts. And that's the challenge that I want to see compared to the European audiences.
John, you're making my nipples a little bit hard here. I'm getting more excited the more you talk. It's just nice. It's just nice to hear you mention this stuff. We're on the phone. John Moyer from Disturbed, bass player. You guys have the mascot, so to speak, kind of like Eddie from Iron Maiden. Do you guys have a name for the demonic-looking buff dude on the cover of 10,000 Fists, Indestructible, Asylum, or is it still just the guy?
That's his name. He's just the guy.
He's just the guy. Are there any plans of bringing him on stage? Maybe someone in one of those fire suits, make it like a Rammstein show without the sexual abuse?
Not yet. But, you never know what the future holds. But currently, he's not in that form yet.
We're digging Warrior. You can hear that right here on KCLB, as well as many other tracks from
Right on.
Asylum.
Thank you guys for slamming that song. We're real proud of that song. We're big fans of MMA fighting.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, anybody from the UFC pick that up yet, or what?
Well, you know what's funny is that last GSP fight, during the weigh-in, they were playing Warrior in the background during the weigh-in.
Nice.
And Joe goes, man, the music is really loud. Can they turn that down? They're definitely aware.
Who came up with the idea to offer up that tune to benefit the West Memphis 3? It's called 3, and it's available on your website, disturbed1.com.
When we were putting together the record, usually we always have, we usually put together about 15 ideas for every Disturbed record, and only 12 get on the record, and we always have a couple of extras. When the song doesn't make it on the record, it's not necessarily, there's different reasons. Usually it's for continuity of the record, not because the song's any less or any worse. To us, our B-sides, we feel like our B-sides are just as strong as our singles, is the way we feel about them. The thing with 3 was we didn't want that song to get lost on a record. It had a special message, and we were talking about it. We're like, well, wouldn't it be great if we could use this song to help, the West Memphis 3 cause? And in thinking about it, it's like, well, I guess the best way to get mileage out of it and to really get recognition out of it is not to just throw it out with the record, because the record's going to have some, singles like Another Way to Die and The Warrior, which you guys are playing, The Animal. And so we didn't want to get lost in that shuffle. So we felt, let's put the record out, and then we'll wait a few months. And, when the time is right, we'll put out 3 so that we can, get the most impact out of it. And all the proceeds go to the West Memphis 3 Defense Fund.
The website is disturbed1.com. Why is it not disturbed.com? I tried to go to the site. It's blocked by the internet Nazis here at KCLB. Is it some sick fetish site? What's up with that?
Ever since we started, we Disturbed was owned by somebody else. And, years ago when the band was in its infancy, we offered to buy it from this guy. And, this is even before Disturbed had really, broken through many, of the barriers, was still basically a baby band. And the guy who owned Disturbed, wanted to charge an arm and a leg for the site. So we're like, you know what, we'll just do Disturbed 1 and be over it. And what happened now is now we're not, we've got such great traffic happening on Disturb1.com that we're just like, whatever. We don't even feel the need to even purchase that domain anymore. The guy can have it.
Damn, I was hoping it was going to be some sick fetish site, and there was like some story behind the nastiness of that site.
No, nothing that intriguing.
We got John Moyer, bass player from Disturbed, on the line with us here. July 9th, Rockstar Energy Drink Mayhem Fest kicks off at San Manuel Amphitheater in San Bernardino. Couple things regarding rock nowadays. We just heard word that Ray from Stone Sour had a minor stroke. Stone Sour had to cancel a bunch of dates, and you guys had to cancel some dates because of Dave's throat last year. It's times like this that we realize you guys are human. Is Dave all right? Do you have any words you want to send out to Ray, and what's up with the band now?
Well, first of all, this is the first I heard about Ray. I just saw him last weekend in Kansas City, like on Saturday. So
I believe it was after there's a radio station festival out there, Laser Fest, and or something Point Fest or something like that, and it happened after that.
Oh my gosh! Okay, well that's news to me. So I'm just now processing that. Ray's a dear friend of mine, so I didn't even know about that. I'm gonna look into that right away. To answer your other question, just to continue with the interview here, you kind of shook me up, my friend. Dave is fine, has been fine. What happened was just a minor bump in the road. As a singer, their body is their instrument. Dave does a great job of taking care of himself. He doesn't party like the rest of us. He even adheres to a special diet to reduce any kind of acids in his system, which could affect his throat. So, and he does vocal training, warm-up exercises. He goes the distance to maintain his voice in peak condition. But sometimes you'll have a show or, you can't always be, he was sick going into a cold weather show. So it was like a bit of a double whammy. He was doing shows sick and it was sounding fine, but then we did a cold weather show, and at the end of the show, he had, they did a little, what's it called, camera view of his throat, and it showed massive swelling, and the doctor said, look, you got to take, a couple weeks off. And, so we had to do it, but since then he's been totally solid and fine, and, it's just how it is. I mean, not everybody can be healthy 100% of the time, but considering, what we do, and David pushes himself very hard when he sings. He's not a quiet singer. He's blasting it 100%. So when you're doing that, you're definitely exposing, your instrument to the environment around you. And really, he's been amazingly healthy this whole run, except for that little blip towards, it was right after Uproar. We had done a 6-week run on Uproar. Well, no, 8-week run on Uproar. And then it was towards the end of that run that there was a little bit of, madness that happened. And, he muscled through it, but then after that we had to cool off for a couple of days. But, and he's 100% now.
July 9th, Rockstar Energy Drink Mayhem Fest kicking off in San Bernardino. Check the set list, and Death Clock is going on after you guys. I saw you guys as the headliner on this tour.
I thought we were too, so I'm not sure what that's about.
Right on.
You know what? I think that has something to do with the fact that Death Clock uses they use a certain type of screen, I guess, that could get washed out by sunlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So maybe that has something to do with, maybe they felt like, they couldn't do their show that they would normally do unless it was like in total darkness. Maybe they need that darkness. So I think it was negotiated ahead of time. But, those guys are great musicians. I've never seen them do the thing live before. I know a couple of the musicians in the band, and I know that, they're powerful, and looking forward to seeing them. But as I recall, I think San Bernardino is going to be the only show that they're going to be on.
All right, it's John Moyer, bass player from Disturbed. Asylum, #1, the 4th record in a row for Disturbed to hit #1. Nowadays, how do you gauge an album? How do you finally rule it a success? Is it album sales, reviews, how people react at shows? What is the thing that makes you say, hey, we did something right here?
To me, it's the reaction at the shows. We're a real fortunate band. We, like you said, we've had a lot of every record's done well. We feel like we've got singles off every record. So what ends up happening is, every new album cycle, it's more and more of a challenge for us to make sure that we play all the old songs that the fans want to hear from us from the previous catalog, but also, to incorporate the new material and to, for us to grow as a band and to evolve. So, usually it's like, okay, well, how much of the new material can we really put into a set and not alienate our fans, not, play like a whole album's worth of new material and they're mad because we didn't play Stupefy or The Sickness or Prayer. And it's amazing because now we're playing, we were just playing 5 new songs off the record. And I don't feel like a single one of them was a sleeper. I feel like every single one of them had the audience getting just as crazy as they would for any of our older songs that have been around a lot longer. So to me, that's the sign of success, is when it's connecting with the audience. Record sales, whatever, but when you look in the audience and you see them singing every word back off of a single off the new record, we're playing Warrior in the set, they're screaming it back at us. We play The Animal, they're screaming it back at us. That's the biggest thing to us. That's why we do this. Making a record's cool, but it's just a means to an end. It's a means for us to take our music on stage and perform for the audience and have that connection with the crowd. And that's, to me, is what it's all about. When you look out and you see the new songs connecting with the audience, that's a successful record.
I heard you guys covered Living After Midnight for the British Steel tribute album. You have any thoughts on KK leaving the band?
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't really have much of an opinion on it. It's definitely a blow to the band. But as far as, their personal reasons or professional reasons, they've been doing it a long time. For whatever reason, he felt like, not continuing, or the band felt like parting ways. I don't know any of the drama, or if there is any drama behind the parting of it. I do know that he's going to be hard to replace. I've seen Judas Priest live even recently, and he's a great presence on stage. And so they're definitely going to be hard-pressed to find somebody to fill his shoes.
That's John Moyer, bass player in Disturbed. We appreciate the time, John. The Disturbed machine keeps rolling. Asylum hit #1. We're looking forward to the show July 9th. Rockstar Energy Drink Mayhem Fest. Tickets are on sale now for the kickoff show in San Bernardino at San Manuel Amphitheater. John, we appreciate it once again.
Can't wait, man. The pleasure's all mine. We'll see you guys out there.